Okay, so we're going to work on today multiplying with regrouping. Okay, so I'm going to go through a few models with you and then we're going to do some together. Okay, so on your screen you have a multiplication problem 32 times 4. And on the right here we have a multiplication table. I have this on here so we can refer back to it when we need to. Okay, when you multiply, similar to when you add, or even when you subtract, you always want to start all the way on the right with the ones column first. So we're going to start with multiplying 4 times 2. Okay, and I don't know why it's still doing that funny thing. So 4 times 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find my factor of 2 right here, and I'm going to count over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What was my answer? 8. So 4 times 2 equals 8. Okay, now, I don't need to regroup because 8 is 10 or less. When the number is 10 or less, I don't need to regroup, okay? So now I'm going to go to my next set I'm going to multiply, which is 4 times 3 in my tens. So this time, let's go to my factor of 4 again this time. I'm going to count over 3. 1, 2, 3. My answer is 12. If you notice in the number 12, I have a 2 in the ones and a 1 in the tens. Typically, I would need to regroup and put that number up here in my hundreds place. But since I don't have a hundreds place right here, I don't need to do that. When there's no place value bigger, you just write that whole answer on the bottom. So 4 times 3 equals 12. So I'm just going to put that answer there. Okay, so this tells me that 32 times 4 equals 128. Okay, let's do another example. Okay, let me clear my screen. All right, so now we're doing 28 times 4. Let's see if this one will have regrouping. And think about what I know about numbers, and when I'm adding them or multiplying, I think I am. So do the same thing. My factor of 4 is going to be multiplied by the 8 and by the 2. I'm going to start with 4 times 8. So find my factor of 4. I'm going to count over 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My answer was 32. That number 32 has a 2 in the ones and a 3 in the tens. Since I have 2 digits here, this 3 is going to have to get regrouped. So my 2 goes on the bottom. I regroup my 3 up here above my 2. So that 3 is now in the tens place value. And I'm going to end up adding that to my product that I get when I multiply 4 times 2. Okay, so we're going to multiply 4 times 2 now. Let's go to my 4 and count over 2. 1, 2. What answer did I get? I got an 8, right? If 4 times 2 is 8, I'm going to add 3. Add that 3 because I regrouped in. 8 and 3 more equals 8, 9, 10 is 11. So I get the answer of 112. Okay, why don't you guys try the next one with me? All right, grab your paper and pencil and write this problem down. Let's multiply. I have 14 times 5. I start with my 5. I'm multiplying my 5 times my 4. Okay, so I'm doing 5 4 times. Find your factor of 5 on the outside again. Okay, and multiplying by 4. So I'm going to go over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, my answer is 20. Look at this number 20. I have a 0 in the ones and a 2 in the tens. It's 10 or more, so I'm going to need to regroup. So I'll put my 0 down here, my ones in my answer. My 2 goes above my 1 in my tens place. And I'm going to add that to that product when I find out what the product of 5 times 1 is. Now let's multiply 5 times 1. Here's my 5. Count over 1. Oh, 5 times 1 equals 5. But I need to add the 2 that's above there that I had to regroup. 5 times 2 equals 7. So this tells me that 14 times 5 equals, you got it, 70. Let's do another one together. All right, 13 times 3. What are we multiplying first? Right, 3 times 3. I'm going to multiply 3 times 3. So your factors are 3 and 3. Find the 3 on your multiplication chart. You can use the one that's on the screen. And count over 3. What number did we land on? 9. Very good. Now look at that number 9. Is it 10 or more? No, it's not. And because it's not 10 or more, I do not need to regroup. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to write a 9 in the ones place value there. My next step is I'm going to multiply the tens place value times my 3. 3 times 1. Well, I know any number times 1 equals that number. So what's 3 times 1, friends? 3. So I get my answer of 39. 13 times 3 equals 39. Now, I'm going to give you a minute, and I want you to write this problem down, 74 times 3, and I want you to start solving it. Use the strategies like we've been using. Remember to multiply your 4 times your 3, and if we need to regroup, we'll regroup over here in the tens, if we do. And then once you have that product, you're going to go back and multiply your 3 times your 7 and your tens. And if you had to regroup, add that in and write your answer. Let me give you a minute to try that out. Go ahead and get started. Write that problem down and start multiplying. Use the 100 multiplication chart that's on your screen to help you if you don't have one at home. Okay, let's check our work. All right, so we started by multiplying 3 times 4, right? 3 times 4 equals 3, 4 was 12. Looking at that number 12, I know I can only put one digit at the bottom, so I put my 2 from my ones place value, and I regroup to my ones place value, or my tens, I'm sorry. And I'm going to add that number that I regrouped in once I find that product. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply in the tens. So I have my 3, and I'm going to multiply it by 7. 3 times 7. Let's go back to my multiplication chart. Find my factor of 3, and I'm going to count over 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I landed on the number 21. Now, if you notice here, there is no digit in the hundreds place value. Okay, it's only 74. It only goes up to my tens. So because there's no 100s here, I'm just going to write my answer at the bottom. But I have 21 I need to add in that 1. So don't forget to add in that number you regrouped in your answer. 21 plus 1 equals 22. I'm not sure why my font changed. Is 22. Okay, so 74 times 3 equals 222. When you're multiplying and you need to regroup, don't forget to add in that number. And you're only regrouping if it's 10 or more. If it's not 10 or more, you don't need to regroup and put that number on top. Okay, let's try a few more. And actually, I'm going to give you an example of one before we do another one. Okay, nope, we did this one. All right, this one here has 3 digits. Now, don't get overwhelmed by looking at a third digit in the hundreds place value. We're still finding the same process, okay? So don't write this one down. I just want you to watch what I do and look at the steps that I'm following, okay? So same concept, 6 times 175. I'm gonna start with multiplying my 6 times my 5, okay? 6 times 5. Find my factor of 6, and I'm going to count over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I landed on the number 30. I need to regroup 30 because I have a 0 in my 1s and a 3 in my 10s. 2 digits I need to regroup. So this time when I regroup, I'm going to make sure, I need to be extra careful to put it in the right spot so it doesn't confuse me later. So I'm going to put my 0 down here in my 1s, and I'm going to regroup my 3 above my 10's place value. And I'm going to put a plus symbol here just to remind me that I'm adding that into whatever product I get there, okay? Now that I multiplied 6 times 5 and got 30, written my answer, I'm ready to go on to my next step. And I'm multiplying 6 times 7 this time, okay? So I'm going to find my factor of 6 on my multiplication chart, and I'm going to count over 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This time I got the answer of 42. Again, I have to regroup because I have a number in the 1s and a number in the 10s. So my 2 goes on the bottom in my answer, and this 4 is going to have to get regrouped. Oh, I missed a step. What did I do wrong, guys? Did I add in my 3? No, I have to remember to do that. And that goes to show, guys, it's a really, really simple mistake to make, okay? So I'm going to erase that, and I'm going to start over. So I have my 42, okay? Now, I need to add in the 3. So 42 plus 3 is 45. So that's my final answer in that place value. Same thing, though. 5 in my 1s goes bottom, and I'm going to need to regroup this 4 from my 10s up to my hundreds place value. Okay, now I'm going to multiply 6 times my 1 of my 100s. 6 times 1 is 6. So I have 6, but I need to remember to add 4. Add that in up there. Okay, 6 plus 4 is 10. I'm going to write my answer here because I don't have a 1000's place value up here on the left. I'm sorry. Okay, so my answer to 175 times 6 is 1050. Okay, so similar to adding, right, friends? Except I'm multiplying. You have to remember to add that digit in on the top. Okay, let's do another one. I'm going to go a little bit slower. I want you to do this one with me. Write this problem down on your paper. 394 times 8. Now let's multiply. I'm going to start with 8. Oh, let me get my line up there. 8 times 4. Use your chart. 8 times 4 is 8, count over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. What did I get? 32. Let's go ahead and write an answer of 32. 2 in the answer. My 3 is going to get regrouped. I'm going to remember to add that into my 10s this time. Next, I'm going to multiply 8 times 9. What is 8 times 9? Use your chart. And tell me what 8 times 9 is. So just find our 8 and count over 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. What did I get? 72. Is that the same thing you guys have? 72 for 8 times 9? I'm not done. I did multiply 8 times 9. I need to remember to add in my 3. So I have my 72, and I'm going to add 3. 72 and 3 more is 75. So now our answer is 75. Let's write that up in our problem. 5 goes into tens. And I'm going to regroup my 7 above my hundreds. And I'm going to remember to add that in. The last step is to multiply my 8 times my 3. Eight times 3, 8. 2, 3. My answer is 24. I'm not done now. Remember this 7 I added up on the top? From when I regrouped, I have to add that 7 into my answer. 24 plus 7 equals 31. So now, because I don't have a digit over here in my thousands, it stops at my 3 in the hundreds, I'm just going to write that answer of 31 as my answer. Okay? So 394 times 8 equals 3,152. The problems you're going to be working on today are going to be set up like this, okay? You're going to have a problem to work on, and you're going to be given a multiplication chart on your screen to use if you need to, okay? Just remember to show your work, whether you show your work on the screen so the teachers can see it as you're working, or if we ask you, show me your paper, or show me your whiteboard, that helps us understand how you're doing on it. And if you're stuck and confused, we can figure out what's confusing and how to help you step by step. Okay, so don't be upset or offended if we ask you to show your work. Okay, so in just a minute, you're going to be asked to stop this video and to do your practice problems, but not quite yet. Okay, I still wanted to show you one more thing.
3 tens plus.
Right, friends? That's a review.
Multiply. Let's find 18 times 3. First, multiply the ones by 3. 8 ones times 3 equals 24 ones. Regroup 24 ones into 4 ones and 2 tens. Next, multiply the tens by 3 and add the regrouped tens. 1 10 times 3 equals 3 tens, plus 2 tens equals 5 tens. 18 times 3 equals 54. Let's find 45 times 6. First, multiply the ones by 6. 5 ones times 6 equals 30 ones. Regroup 30 ones into 0 ones and 3 tens. Next, multiply the tens by 6 and add the regrouped tens. 4 tens times 6 equals 24 tens. Plus 3 tens equals 27 tens. Regroup 27 tens into 2 hundreds and 7 tens. 45 times 6 equals 270. Let's find 186 times 4. Multiply the ones by 4. 6 ones times 4 equals 24 ones. Regroup 24 ones into 4 ones and 2 tens. Multiply the tens by 4 and add the regrouped tens. 8 tens times 4 equals 32 tens. 32 tens plus 2 tens equals 34 tens. Regroup 34 tens into 4 tens and 3 hundreds. Finally, multiply the hundreds by 4 and add the regrouped hundreds. 100 times 4 equals 4 hundreds, plus 3 hundreds equals 7 hundreds. 186 times 4 equals 744. Let's find 593 times 6. Multiply the ones by 6. 3 ones times 6 equals 18 ones. Regroup 18 ones into 8 ones and 1 10. Multiply the tens by 6 and add the regrouped tens. 9 tens times 6 equals 54 tens. 54 tens plus 1 10 equals 55 tens. Regroup 55 tens into 5 tens and 5 hundreds. Multiply the hundreds by 6 and add the regrouped hundreds. 5 hundreds times 6 equals 30 hundreds. 30 hundreds plus 5 hundreds equals 35 hundreds. Regroup 35 hundreds into 3 thousands and 5 hundreds. 593 times 6 equals 3,558.